Hello, this is Alejandro Bratti from Believing Yourself, Believing Your Business, and welcome to the Spanglish World Networks on Single TV, channel 250 and 251. Please remember to download both the Single TV app on the respective app stores on iOS and Android devices. While you download, make sure you rate and leave a comment. The app is free. Single TV is available in Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Roku, and all the smart TVs. I am really excited to have Sandy again. This is the second time, maybe in a month, maybe.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think so.
and it's because we want to talk about something that Sandy has been working on. How many months or how many years? I don't know.
Well, it's been in the works in my mind for 3 years, but I actually rolled up my sleeves to get going on this book in January of this year.
Wow, but at the end, it's like 10 months, and as you say, everything starts with the mind, and then goes to start to writing that. So I agree. It's 2 years in the process of
Yeah.
creation. That is really exciting, Sandy. So first, let's start talking about what are you doing now? What is your mission in this world? What is everything that you are doing? And then we want to go inside of that book and all the glimpses that you can give us.
Sounds fabulous. Well, first of all, Alejandro, thank you for having me back on. We had such a great conversation last time, and it's a privilege to get to have an opportunity to talk about the book, and I appreciate that. So yeah, I'm Sandy Rutherford. I have a global coaching practice. I'm a success mindset coach, and I've been mentored and taught by, and I've worked with Bob Proctor for 6 years before we lost him earlier this year. So my mission is to get people to essentially to wake up to the fact that they have everything it takes to create consistent, extraordinary success. Everything is within. You don't lack talent or capability. It's just has to come down to mindset. And mindset. What is mindset? It's just our conditioning, our programming, our most of it is all about self-image, and beliefs. And you know what? As soon as you understand that, it's like success is a process. I have what it takes to succeed. I just need to work on my mindset to shift it to get into alignment to support the kind of success that I want to create. Bang! You become unstoppable. Everything opens up for you.
So we have Lori saying hello. So Helly,
Hi,
Lori,
Lori. Good to see you,
really,
Lori.
really happy to be here with you. And anybody that if you have questions in the process, please contact us. Just chat, and we are more than happy to answer any question that you may have. What you are talking, Sandy, for me was is amazing because I started my own business a few years ago, and when I started, I didn't have I was like, okay, let's talk about all the strategic ideas that we need to fix and everything that we have to fix, and I even started trying to do that. But I started to realize that some people were good following up with the guidance that I was giving them, and some people were like, "Nothing is working. What is happening?" And even in my case, I realized that something didn't work the same way I was expecting. And one of the things that I realized after a couple of years of trial and error and everything was my mindset. It's exactly
Mhm.
what we're talking. It's like if I was creating, I wasn't really creating in my mind first. I was like, okay, I am hands-on and start to work and I start to do everything. And it's like, no, but did you realize what you really want to create? How you want to create it? And it's like that's why I even started my new coaching program. It's about like first understand what is your mindset, first believe that you can do it, then start to do everything that you want to do. But if you don't start with that part, there is nothing. So that's for me, it's like wow, that connects with everything that you are saying. So let's start to talk about your book, The High Seas.
Okay.
Why high sea? What is that?
Oh, love it. I love it. I'm so excited. Yeah, on in less than 2 weeks, on October 25th, that's a Tuesday, is launch day. That's when my book is available on Amazon, and it's called Navigating the High Seas to Success. High seas is a capital C. not SEA, right? Not ocean, sea. It's capital C. And what it is it's an 8-step charted course. It's an 8-step charted course to extraordinary achievement. And I've laid out in the book. I mean, why did I write this book? I mean, first of all, there's so much great content out there, scattered everywhere between all the experts out there, whether it's Bob Proctor or Tony Robbins or Mary Morrissey or Joe Dispenza, or there's tons of them. Great, great people, great, great content. And so whether it's books or webinars, there's so much great content out there. But what I wanted to do, why I wrote this book, is because I wanted to bring all the key hard-hitting concepts together in one place. Because I spent a lot of time. I took years to land on these different concepts between, and not even the great experts right now, but Napoleon Hill or Neville Goddard or some of the people that wrote 100 or more years ago. So I wanted to. It kind of occurred to me that there are certain concepts that we've got to give our attention to, and there's actually a certain order. And so as I began to realize this, I went, oh, I've got to get this into a book. I want to put this in one place so that other people don't have to spend years bumping and grinding around all the different stuff and try to, what do I do first? And who do I listen to? And blah, blah, blah. So that's why I've pulled this book together. And the high C's, that happens to be that every one of these concepts starts with a letter C. So there are 8 chapters that outline each of these steps, each of these concepts, and they are in order. And again, they begin with the letter C. But what the cool thing is each chapter and the concept that it addresses is supported by a lot of really cool, inspirational, motivational quotes, some of which you will have heard, but they're all kind of gathered together appropriately depending on the chapter. Plus, each chapter has, at the end of each chapter, I've said who's doing this concept. So I've used some client examples and some celebrity examples that you might recognize to bring their story or the concept to life by virtue of what they've done. And each chapter also contains a quick assessment. It's not a scientific assessment, but it's a quick assessment just to gauge where you're at with respect to that concept. And then an exercise is given to work on that concept. Because what I want to do is help you get out of your head and just understanding, like a lot of us do personal development material and we really get it. Here's the rub. This might be you too, Alejandro. You get into this personal development stuff and you love it. Oh, it makes so much sense. It's so inspiring. It motivated. Yep. I can understand. I'm going to do this first, that for, oh yeah. Really well intended. And you may start to do some of it, but a lot of it falls off. That is because we haven't internalized it. We get very intellectually enamored with the material, but that's not good enough. You have to get it out of your head and into your heart. You have to actually get out of intellectual awareness and into internalized awareness to become, so that it's registering at different inner emotional states. And that's when, you do some of this material, work with some of this material and go, oh, whoa, oh my gosh, that was oh shoot, man, that was a really good one. I can really feel that makes a big difference. And that's when you get that internalization happening. That's when everything begins to shift and success can unfold so much more easily, so much more quickly for you. So that's what I've done. My hope is that as you read the book, do the work in the book, immerse yourself in the book, and I have instructions of here's how you use this book, that it makes a whole difference of getting out of your head and into your heart and starting to really internalize this material. So that's why I've written this book. And that's why, it's not a long book. It's maybe a mid-sized book, maybe. And it's inspiring, it's motivating, it's fun, it's got a nautical theme. So yeah, that's how I kind of got to where I am today with outlining these concepts that I can go through for you now if you'd like me to.
Yes, I want to, and I want to emphasize in this area that you are saying how to internalize the awareness, because one thing is, okay, I have the awareness, great, but from that point to really start to internalize and start to be like, I'm starting to understand what Sandy is trying to say with this concept, it's a completely different game.
It's a completely different game. And let me give you an example. Is most people, when they set goals, like I want to earn $1 million. I want to leave a corporate job. I'm going to set up a company. I want to be $1 million earner. And you think, okay, I'm pretty excited about that. But you know what? Still, most people are in their head about that. They're intellectually really enamored. Oh yeah. I really want to have a great, successful business, $1 million. And most people are not internalizing that.
Mm.
And that was me when I first set my goals and I wasn't achieving when I first left corporate to become an entrepreneur. I thought I was really clear on my goals, but it was all in my head. It was not in my heart. And so that ability to internalize is it's a difference maker.
And really, this brings to me when I was, for example, with Bob Proctor, when he starts to do this drawing of the stick man and
Yep.
talking about that. I started with the beginning of everything. I started like I don't know how many years ago to listen to that, and it's like amazing. But since that point to really start to understand what he's trying to say, it took me 3 years.
Yeah. So I want to speed up the process. That's why the book.
Exactly. So let's go inside of the books of talking about the 8 C's.
Okay.
And really, everyone that is listening, if you have a pen and paper, I recommend you because with Sandy, the last time even when I am interviewing and I am not usually taking notes, this time I am going to be taking notes with Sandy. You are going to learn a lot. So I highly recommend you to do that
Yeah.
when Sandy is talking.
I would too. Now, just warning, I'm not going to give you all the information because I want you buying the book.
No,
Okay.
but give us a little of the.
Absolutely. Let me share some cool stuff. All right. So the 8 C's, they are in the right order. Okay. So the first C is called connection. And the subtitle is Little Me versus Big Me. Okay. Now, what do I mean by connection? Connection is I want you to realize that you need to tap into your readers or your audience to realize you need to tap into your inner self. You need to understand what you truly want, what you truly desire, and realize you have all this talent and capability within. And tapping into your inner self, your inner voice, your inner spirit, your authentic self, whatever wording you want to use. But it's giving yourself permission to go inside and explore, what do I really want here? And so the more we are if we're not connected to our inner self, I call it being in little me. You feel small, you feel alone in the world, you feel like things aren't maybe going right. Little me is not a good vibe. Big me is a fabulous vibe. So when you understand how to tap into that inner voice, you can do it by understanding you're incredibly gifted. And I'm explaining how to do this as well in the book. But how do you connect with your inner voice? Tap into or understand, accept, embrace how gifted you are. Right? Get out of your head and into your heart. How do you get more emotionally involved with things and letting go of the past? So when you're caught up in the past, this didn't work and I feel awful, but you're caught in little me. Right? So those are some of the ways that you can get out of little me. And then in big me, how do you really get more into big me? Well, things like meditation, gratitude, celebration, personal development in this very area helps you get into big me, because this personal development is all about understanding, holy crap, you're an amazing individual. You're incredible. You're awesome. You're talented. You're gifted. Like that, you just kind of sit up into bigger me. So you have to connect with your inner self, which for most of us remains vastly unexplored, and your outer self, beyond the self. There's a whole universe of resources and energy and opportunity beyond yourself, which again is vastly underexplored. So that's what connection's all about, connecting to the inner self and connecting to beyond yourself. And when you learn how to do that, oh my, is it ever a phenomenal vibe. So that's the first chapter on connection.
And really understanding what you are saying, it's really interesting, because one of my words that I used to be saying, like, this is the most important thing that I have to do when I connect with other people, when I interact with other people, is connection. So, and I really agree with what you are saying. We are really disconnected with our true self, and we start to see all only about, like, okay, this guy is telling me this because of this, and we are the perception and everything start to change just because of all the thing that comes from my past. So I really want to start to to read that. Tell me about.
Yes. Okay. So connection. And you know what? Just one last thing on connection. We can get, if we come to the table with, this is who I am. I've always been a marketing project manager, whatever. I've always earned maybe $65,000 a year. We're coming in little me. We're not connecting, right? When you connect within and without, you're allowing yourself to define yourself beyond what you've always been up till now. Okay. So that's connection. All right. The second chapter is creation. And the subtitle is You Are the Mental Architect of Your Destiny. Now, the beautiful truth is that we all have phenomenal creative powers. And I have to laugh when some people say, a lot of people tend to say, well, yeah, but I'm not really that creative. I'm not very artistic. It's like, that's so limiting. We are all born with incredible creative powers. We just aren't taught how to utilize them, how to tap into them. So allowing yourself, giving yourself to be permission to be creative and really going, wow, why don't I really take a look at what I want to do, what I might be capable of, what I can create for next level successes. So to get in creation mode is an amazing vibe. I love being in creation mode. I'm always looking for ways to be better. What else can I do? Right? Creation mode is a phenomenal vibe. And it's not stereotypically being able to write or being able to do art. That's not creative move. It's using your imagination. We are gifted with one of the most powerful instruments in the world, free and clear. It's an imagination. So getting into creative mode, once you're allowing yourself to tap into who and what you are, by being connected, getting into creative mode to really start to explore, what is it I really want to do? And that gets us into the third chapter, which is clarity of desire. All success begins with desire. Napoleon Hill wrote about that. Bob always said, what is it you really want? All success does begin with desire. And desire, you need to be crystal clear on that. And so that's why the first two chapters are so important. The more you tap into who and what you are, your gifts, connect with that inner self, connect with the world beyond, get into creative mode. Then in this chapter, I'm going to ask you, well, let's now get you clear on what you really want to create. Because if you're not clear, you won't commit all in. And commit to what, right?
Let's go a little bit back with creation, because I agree with everything that you are saying, but it really, in my past, when I was in, like, I am a photographer too, and I love to paint also. But if you're not thinking like that, suddenly, if I am in my work and I am like doing something, I don't know, something that is like repetitive all the time, it's like you don't need to create anything, and you think that you are not creative because you are only a project manager that is doing creating a project, but it's not really creation. It's how you start to be outside of your mind, saying like, okay, I am really creative, even when I think that I am doing things that are not creative.
Well, here's a word to inject into your everyday. Better. If you wake up, even if you've got mundane tasks that you do day in and day out, if you ask yourself every day, how can I do this better? If you keep asking that, because there's no limit to being better, and that'll force you, if you think, well, I'm doing everything I can do, there's always somebody always comes up with better ways, even if it's mundane and a regular everyday thing. Somebody's always coming up with new. You can too. If you ask yourself, okay, how can I do this better? It might be something so simple, but that'll keep you in creative mode.
Yeah.
Right. So everybody's got that. It's not I don't know how to play an instrument. I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to do photography. That's a very traditional interpretation of creativity.
Exactly.
Creativity, really, what we're talking about here is just using your imagination. Use your imagination. Let that powerful imagination go to work for you every day.
And I completely agree. For me, this is really important, and that's where you start to tap to all the possibilities and all the things that you can create. But I love, and really, if you didn't hear well, what Sandy's saying is how I can do this better. Anything that you are doing now, how you can do that better, that can change everything and can start
Yeah.
to open the creativity in your mind. So that is really powerful.
Yeah.
So let's continue with clarity of desire. I agree. If you don't have clarity, everybody looking for productivity is looking for how to be better. But if you don't have clarity of what you want,
Right. So if you aren't clear, you will not commit. Commit to what? So you've got to get clarity. And it can't be just, I want to be financially healthy. That's not clear for your mind. Your mind will go to work and pop new ideas of how to go forward as long as you give it clarity. When you say financially healthy, that's not clear. Like the mind has no clue what to do with that. So clarity is so key, and it's clarity of desire, because desire means that emotional. When you talk about desire, there's emotion there. And if you can get crystal clear, I want to start a company and I want to be earning $100,000 a month. Okay, that's crystal clear. But if you're not emotionally engaged in that, it's like, yeah, okay, sure, I'm going to start a company and 100,000 a month, that'd be great. Okay, whip-de-doo. If there's no emotional charge around that, again, you're not going to be committed. You will not. You'll find excuses. So clarity of desire, again, all success begins with desire. Chapters 1 and 2 have set the stage for you to get that clarity. And you know what? Yeah, in the book, you can have some fun with this, because I've given an exercise for you to do called finding your sweet spot. Right? Your sweet spot is that, because a lot of people say, well, I don't know what I want to create. How do I find out? Well, this exercise, I have all my clients do this, is finding your sweet spot, which is the intersection of 3 key things: what I love to do, what I'm good at and want to keep getting better at, there's that word again, and how I can serve people with what I love to do and want to keep getting better at. And I'm going to tell you something, when you're in your sweet spot, it's an amazing vibe. It's phenomenal. I'm in my sweet spot. I love to do what I do. I'm really good at it. I'm always looking for ways to be better, always. And I know I can help people. So I love where I am. And every one of us has numerous sweet spots, but it's giving yourself, and in this chapter, you'll find out how to do this. It's giving yourself permission to explore that. I mean, Alejandro, would you agree? We're not taught this. We're not taught. Can you imagine if we were taught in high school or university? You know what? Take 20 minutes a day, same chair, same cozy spot, same time each day, sit down, grab your glass of, your tea, your coffee, your smoothie, glass of wine, I don't care, but sit down, relax, and go, what do I really want to create more of in my life? More success. What does that look like? Imagine if we were taught that. Like, we're not conditioned to do that, right?
yeah, no, not at all.
No. And yet it's crucial to success. So that's what chapter 3 is getting into. And it's fun.
And it's really, really needed.
Well, it is. You know what? A great analogy is like, when you have a GPS. If you put, Mexico, California, even Toronto in your GPS, it'll get you sort of somewhere near something, right?
Yeah.
So a GPS needs a clear destination for the GPS to start popping routes. Same with your mind. Your mind needs a clear destination for your mind to start popping ideas. Oh, how are we going to do this? Well, how about this? How about this? How about this? Right? So yeah, it's just such an important chapter. And Napoleon Hill was so right to put it first. All success does begin with desire. So the 4th chapter is called Conditioning. It's about conditioning. And its subtitle is, I forgot, the clarity of desire. The subtitle is Success is a Rarity Without Clarity. Okay. So chapter 4, Conditioning, the subtitle is Your Comfort Zone is Your Discomfort Zone.
Oh.
And conditioning, all I mean by conditioning is your programming, your subconscious wiring, paradigms, comfort zone. It's all the same thing. And we all have this programming, this conditioning that keeps us bound. We cannot, just like a computer can't can't do what it's programmed what it's programmed to do, or can only do what it's programmed to do. Each of us can only do what our programming is allowing.
Mm.
So it's so important to understand, okay, in the previous chapters, I get that I'm talented, I'm connected, I really am capable of more, I've got these gifts, I'm in creative, I really would like this. I get that, and I'm capable. So it's never a lack of talent or capability that's going to hold me back. It's my conditioning. So you
Mm.
have to get this chapter, we're getting some clarity around that comfort zone, which I've said is a discomfort zone. Why did I say that? It's because you're so comfortable, and yet most of us will admit, I don't want to be here. I want more. I want better. I want different. Because the human spirit is all about growth and expansion. It's in us all to want to be more and do more and have more. So we're actually we've got discomfort being in our comfort zone because we want to get out of it. We want more.
Mm.
But our comfort zone, which is all that programming, holds us really tightly to where we are. And most of that is around self-image and beliefs.
And I want to just to explain to the people that are listening to us, when you are talking about programming, is everyone is programmed depending on the area that you are living or the environment that you are, the thing that happened to you, and all those things start to program you. Even the thing that didn't work for you in the past is like, okay, I am programmed to know that that is not going to work anymore, and it's just because it didn't work for you or even for your parents, and suddenly that is a programming that for you is like, no, you can touch that because you are going to die. And it's like, just because my dad said or my grandpa said. So that's part of the programming, and what we are talking here is that programming condition you to really be the person that you are supposed to be.
Yeah, absolutely. The funny thing is, your programming is not your programming. Well, it is. It's in you. But it got there from usually well-intentioned people called parents, teachers, coaches, community leaders, religious leaders, what have you. It's their programming that they told you you can and should do this or that, or you shouldn't do that. It's their programming that gets into you.
Yeah.
But it's not defining the rest of your life. It's just programming, just like a computer has programming. So you can upload new programming, new conditioning, right? It's all the same thing. And that becomes your new comfort zone.
Well, in reality, it defines you if you decide that you are not going to change them. If
It
you
absolutely. Well, but then you change the programming, and your new programming now defines you, right? Because you can only go as far as your programming will allow you to go. But there's no limit to to what kind of programming you can upload into yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
sometimes, like some type of programming help me to become the person that I am right now, but it's not helping me to where am going to go.
right.
And maybe you change something of that, upload a better programming that help you to go to the next level, but doesn't help you to continue. And that's why we need to continue working in ourselves
Absolutely.
to really explore all the potential that we really have.
Absolutely. And you know what? The biggest chunk of our programming has to do with self-image.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will tell me, well, in fact, I would say probably all your listeners, you have a strong self-image in various areas of your lives. You've been successful in lots of areas, whether it's being a parent, a friend, in a previous job, maybe a community leader role. You've had lots of successes, and your self-image has supported those successes.
Yeah.
It's where next level, quantum leap, breakthrough success is concerned, that your self-image is not aligned with it. Your self-image is your biggest asset, and it's your biggest block. And to your point, Alejandro, Bob Proctor, right up until the end, he was working on his self-image, shifting it to be in alignment. Every time he created new goals, which he did all the time because he was a product of his own teachings. So when you create new big goals outside the comfort zone, which is outside your programming, you got to do some self-image work. And again, to your point, we're always kind of working on that self-image every time we're creating something new. Make sure it's in alignment. But you know what? When your self-image programming is in alignment with your goal, it feels like magic. It's like, oh, I can do this. And you just start to have the energy to lean in and make things happen for yourself.
Getting back to your sweet spot. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Making your sweet spot happen, right?
yeah, that's really cool.
So that is conditioning. which leads us to chapter 5 called Commitment. Or the subtitle for that one is Results or Excuses. You choose. So commitment is a choice, but there's no question it's a game changer. When you commit all in, no excuses, your mind flips to a whole new level. And you start thinking very differently. And you know what? You've had lots of examples. Anyone listening, you've had lots of examples in your life where you were committed all in, whether it's buying a car, going on a trip, buying a house, getting married, whatever it is, going for a new job. You committed when, yep, I want that. And you just lean in and make it happen. You get into action to make it happen. But it requires that all in a commitment. Now, it's in this order. It's chapter 5 because if your self-image is not aligned with your goal, you will not commit all in. You will find excuses.
Yeah.
Okay? Or if you're not clear and excited, you will not commit. So that's why commitment's falling in this order. But again, back to that GPS, you can put your destination really clear in your GPS and then not touch your GPS. And your GPS will not pop up any routes for you. You got to hit the go button on your GPS. Well, same with your mind. Hit the go button. Put your clear destination in your mind and hit the go button. Commit. Boom. And then your mind goes, whoa, okay, we're all in. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay. And starts, what about this? What about that? And just like a GPS, if you go off course, what do you do in a GPS? Or what does the GPS do? Recalibrates. So does your mind. Your mind, your phenomenal mind that all of us have, will recalibrate because there's no way there's a 100% smooth ride right to the top to achieve your goal. We'll go off course, but your mind will, whoop, that didn't work. Okay, how about? Because your mind knows you're all committed. We got to make this happen. And again, we've all got examples. Whether buying that house, I'm making this happen. Well, I don't have the money. I don't care. I'm going to find it. I'm going to talk to my financial advisor. I got blah, 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 right. Your mind just starts to really fire, and that's what you want. And you can get that with an all-in commitment, but it makes sure you're clear and emotionally jazzed and your self-image is going, yeah, okay, we can try this. And that is chapter 5.
And I like this because really without commitment, you can do anything.
Nope, it is truly a game changer. Truly a game changer.
I have my throat like with problems, but let's go to the
have a glass of water. I'll keep talking. All right, so chapter 6 is on consistency, also called smooth acceleration. And you know what? It's a shorter chapter with just a couple of really key points. Consistency means once you hit stride of consistency, it means you're creating habit. If your habit means I don't have to think about it consciously anymore. So when the consistency comes, then it's easy to create the new habits you want that support progressing towards your goal. And to get that consistency, and Napoleon Hill talks about this, as did Bob Proctor, persistence. You must persist. And the more you persist, like, no, I'm still going to work at this, but I'm not seeing the results. Doesn't matter. I'm still going to work at this, right? When you really persist, you breathe consistency into being.
Wow.
Okay. So persistency fosters consistency. And consistency means you're creating new habits. So consistency, boy, when you start to get really consistent with when you're trying to make those outreach calls, I hate doing outreach, but I know I got to do them. I got to do 10 calls a day. And at first it's such a chore. And some days you fall off on it. Oh, I don't like doing this. But you decide I'm going to be persistent because you're clear and excited about where you want to go. And your self-image is going, I think we can do this. So you start to go, you know what? I got to persist here. And then you start to get more consistent. You have some days you've done, you were aiming for 5 calls a day, and some days you only did 1 or 2. But I had 1 5-call day this week, but every other day at least I did something, 1 or 2, and then you have 3 each day, and then because deciding to be persistent, which is a decision, will allow the consistency to come, and you'll find yourself getting more consistent in those new habits that will make such a difference to create your success.
And the interesting thing about this is that this consistency and persistence creates the habit to start to change your programming. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, love that.
Okay, so chapter 7 is called, actually, there's 2 C's, collaboration and community. And the subtitle is Together We Thrive. You need help. I need help. All successful people will tell you can't do it alone. So we shouldn't try. We shouldn't let ego get in the way and go, no, I'll figure it out myself. Why? You're just delaying your success. Right? So if you're really hungry for success, here's the fun thing. Successful people are really hungry for their success, and they don't want to be held back by running into their own blockages, right? Their own roadblocks. So they go, I need help. I need people helping me, so I go faster through that stuff I know I'm gonna run into. So collaboration and community is huge. And that's why our motto at Inspired Destinies, which is my company, is called Inspired Destinies. Our motto is Together We Thrive, because we do. We're way better together. We're way stronger together. And it's a lot more fun figuring things out together. And if you think about it, collaboration and community, when you're, Alejandro, how do you feel about this? When you're around like-minded people in a higher vibe, going for big goals, pushing the limits, wanting to be better and better, how good do you feel?
No, helps you even to be better. It's improving. Even the creativity, the thing that we started to talk, start to open, the consistency, you have more desire, you have more clarity, everything starts to change.
Absolutely. You have no idea how much your environment has been impacting your success. And so collaboration and community, getting other like minds, helping you think through, brainstorm some new ideas, having the community for accountability and brainstorming with you is such a difference maker. And it's amazing vibe. And you know what? When your vibe is higher, when your vibe is low, when you're feeling frustrated, discouraged, how productive do you feel? Not very, right? So if you can control, when you can control your own vibe, manage your vibe, keep it higher, and collaboration community is a great way to do it. Your vibe goes up. And then when we're in a high vibe of excitement, enthusiasm, confidence, happy, we're way more productive. So the more you sink your teeth into establishing such a positive, collaborative community, you're going to see such dramatic changes in terms of accelerating towards your success.
I really love that.
And it's good to know, you know what? We all need help.
That's why we are here together right now. It's
right.
Creating collaboration, creating something.
Absolutely. I need your help, right?
And I need yours. So at the end, we are helping each other.
Absolutely. Fabulous. Okay. The last chapter, 8, is on celebration.
Oh, that is
celebration. And the subtitle is High Vibe. No, sorry, High Five, High Vibe. The more we celebrate, high five, it raises our vibe. And celebration is a feeling. And it's actually a feeling born of gratitude. Just think about that. Anything you're celebrating, there's actually feelings of gratitude. And gratitude is a phenomenal vibe. And there's so much to celebrate. Whenever I'm working with clients, whether it's in workshops or one-on-ones, masterminds, doesn't matter. We're always starting off with what are we celebrating first? I don't know if I have anything to celebrate today. Yeah, you do. Find it. There's always something to celebrate. And then we do find, I could celebrate something here. And now you start to feel better. Oh, you know what? Celebration. It's funny. It's last in my chapters of 8 steps. But you start at any time. Always celebrate, right? Should always be celebrating. I tell my clients at the end of each day, take 5 minutes. What happened today that you can celebrate? There's always something, right? It's a great habit to get into. Celebrate.
And this is key because really, I am the first person that I'm going to say I am the guilty of this, but it's like, okay, you think like you don't have to celebrate because the next step is already in front of you. It's like there is no time to celebrate, but at the same time is blocking you because suddenly like, okay, I don't know why I'm doing this. I am so tired of doing this. And the problem is you didn't celebrate during the whole time. even the little steps that you start to do, like, okay, I have my first customer, let's celebrate. I have 10 customers, let's celebrate. I have 100, let's celebrate. It's like continue to have a mindset of, okay, give your subconscious an idea of what is happening here. I don't
Yeah.
understand why I am celebrating. This has to be good, so I have to find a way to have it back again.
It creates an amazing vibe. And if you have people you work with, whether you're in a team or leading a team, whether it's network marketing or in corporate, doesn't matter. Celebrate with everybody else. Ask people, what can we celebrate today? If you're leading a team, it's very powerful. It's a very powerful way to engage your team, raise their vibes so that they become more productive. Celebrate. Imagine celebrating with your team every day. Everybody comes in at 8:30 in the morning, grab your coffee, we're taking 15 minutes, we're celebrating. Oh, okay. Everybody's going, oh, okay. Right? Boom, you're raising your vibe.
You know,
So many ways.
this person, Grant Cardone, I was with Grant in one of his workshops that he does, and the first in one of his workshops that he offers you the opportunity to be part of the celebration at the beginning of the day of everything that happened the day before, and the vibe is so good, and
It
everybody
is.
is like oh, I am ready to be for tomorrow in that celebration, because I want them to say my name when they say that I closed this and this happened yesterday because of Alejandro. So it's part of the good companies, the companies that are making a success right now and changing the game in everywhere.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
part of what they are doing. It's putting the celebration as part of the important thing that you have to do to really succeed.
It makes such a difference. And I celebrate you, my friend. I mean, look what you're doing. And even on just these podcasts alone, let alone the coaching and other things you're doing. But these podcasts, you're trying to make such a difference,
Mm.
right? Believe in yourself, believe in your business. Yes, what a great message. I celebrate that. That's fabulous to celebrate. Yeah, well, you know what? I feel great. You feel great. It's like, you know what?
Yeah,
We can all celebrate.
and it's about that. So I really, okay, what you are saying is like, for me these 8 C's are really high C's, and the understanding is really powerful. What happened with you when you, like, okay, you were finishing the last chapter? What happened to you in your mind, like, okay, wow, this is happening, this is really happening, something that I believe the last 3 years, now I have this book and these 8 C's written in a good way, different, and trying to condense all the things that you have learned in the past. How did you feel?
I I celebrated. I felt phenomenal, and I just felt even more eager to get it out there because I just when I reviewed what I put together and had some people give me some feedback and but I looked at the product, I went, it makes so much sense. This is really going to help. I think people are going to be really excited about this, inspired and motivated, and not just inspired and motivated, but I really do believe I'm going to help people get out of the head and more into the heart, get that internalization happening so that things truly change, so that personal development actually starts to take hold in a much bigger way and open up new opportunities. I'm just so excited. I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. Yeah. Thanks for the question. It's a great question.
What are you dreaming about this book? What are you thinking about what is going to happen with the people that read this book? How is going to be that process? What are you feeling and dreaming about that and imagining about that?
I'm imagining that people there's going to be a lot more success stories happening. And I'm imagining that people are going to be reaching back out in gratitude and in celebration, right? To go, oh my gosh, this is just such a helpful tool. Then please share it. Let's create a community of growing, people growing together and creating more and more success stories together because we can, right? So I am imagining a whole wave. Okay, I'll use a little bit of a nautical or ocean term, wave of of new successes, new excitement, new opportunities, all unfolding because of the simple concepts, but as they've been laid out in the book, I see a big impact.
the people that you are imagining that is going to be like being helped with this book is one type of people, is everyone? Who are you looking for to, like, okay, I was thinking about this person, but I know that can reach much more people than those? Do you have some idea of that?
So anyone that is has been into personal development but hasn't seen the results, I think you'll see something different with navigating the high seas to success. People that haven't really dabbled or in personal development have wanted to maybe, but where do you start? I think this is a phenomenal starting point. It's going to curate, the concepts and put them in an order for you. Um, anyone who hasn't been near personal development, but they're stuck. It's like they're not happy. It's like, well, why stay stuck? Why stay unhappy? But that person has to be open to looking at themselves, but looking at themselves in a really positive and inspiring way. Because again, we're all gifted with immense talent. There's no limit to talent and capability. So looking at yourself in that frame of mind, wow. Right. So those are the people I'd be looking for. I mean, people partner with me, and from a coaching perspective, entrepreneurs and professionals partner with me to cut the crap. And it's an acronym. I think I used it last time I was here. It stands for counterproductive, really asinine programming. That's conditioning. That's chapter 4. Right? We've all got that. So this book is going to help you do that in a fun way.
What are the next steps or things that you are dreaming about the future? You have already this book, you changed the name of your company, you are doing amazing things. What are you dreaming and creating now for the future?
We have revamped our programs. We have our Unstoppable Success System. We have a very powerful Self-Image of Your Dreams program. We have a Goal Achievers Forum. We have a Fast Path to Success. We've revamped these. Like the Fast Path used to be an online training I did every 6 to 8 weeks. We've now put it into an online program that you can purchase off the website and be guided. Have some guidance through that as well. And that's a phenomenal journey. So we've revamped that to be more in tune with how I think people want things these days, what they're looking for. And then going forward also, I have lots more ideas for books that are just really waiting to spill out of me. Like I said, I need to get this book up and out there. And, I'll have speaking engagements. And if anybody wants any kind of speaking engagement relative to this book, happy to do that. But I'll let that die down. And then I've got some really cool ideas for more books just to bring to life some more of these concepts that everybody can make use of.
Awesome. So let's go back to say when is launching, how people can connect and buy it, from which countries is going to be available, if it's going to be available everywhere, how is it working?
Okay, so it's October 5th, Tuesday, 25th is the launch date. And on that date, and it will be up in most of the Amazons, right? You can buy the book on that date. You can buy it afterwards, of course. But on that date, I have a launch party going on from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern, so a couple hours, that I will have some 4 or maybe even 5 phenomenal speakers bringing to life a different high C, and sharing what they're doing to help people. And anybody listening is going to benefit from what they're offering. I've got some pretty neat people sharing how they can help you. So that's the launch party. Plus, there's going to be an online gift basket of probably close to $2,000 value that all the speakers and me are putting in some cool stuff. So that's the online launch party. And then when you buy the book on Tuesday, October 25th, there are 5 phenomenal free bonuses. Okay, one is the ebook. Another one is the Fast Path to Success. Another one is our Power Life Story. Another tool we have is called the Funk Buster. And I have an educational video on how success works. All of these are included when they will change. You will vibrate totally differently with those bonus features just by buying the book. Okay. They're all available to you when you buy the book on Tuesday, October 25th.
Okay. No, for me that is amazing, and I just by listening to the bonuses, it's like, okay, but the book itself, it's a bonus.
Absolutely. The book is phenomenal, but you also get these 5 bonuses because we want people buying. I want people's lives changing because they can. We're all capable of so much more. We just need help.
No, I really enjoy that. So in Amazon is going to be looking for your name, looking for the high Cs, like navigating. What do you think is better for people to remember?
Yeah, well, on a lot of the social media, you'll see either Sandy Rutherford, Inspired Destinies, Navigating the High Seas to Success. Any of those are going to work. If you go to my website, inspireddestinies.com, inspireddestinies.com. There's lots of information on our programs and the book as well. If you want to sign on to the book to the launch party, you can do that on the website shortly. So yeah, you can just go to Inspired. You can also book a call with me if you'd like a free coaching call. Just go to Inspired Destinies. There's a button right there. Book a call with me.
I will do it. That's great.
Awesome.
So,
Fantastic.
Sandy, it was really great. I believe I am inspired. And I told you, I wrote 3 pages of things that we spoke today. So
Woohoo!
I really learned from you, and I'm excited about this book. I am looking to be reading that book also very soon. So, and I agree.
Awesome.
You are talking about concepts that they can seem simple, but when you connect everything and you connect in the right way, you are going to find that it's really amazing, and it's connecting
Yeah.
a lot of concepts from different people and different things that a lot of people have teach, but not really in this order or how you are teaching. So it's really powerful. I can already see it. So that is really cool. Sandy, it was really
Thank you.
amazing. Do you want to say something just to close the call today? Like, okay, this is the last thing that I want to tell you. If you want to remember this little thing.
Just know that your life can change. Buy the book on October 25th. Navigating the high seas to success. Honestly, your life will change, and I look forward to hearing about your new successful chapters.
Awesome, Sandy. Thank you all that were
Thank you
here.
so much. Appreciate it, Alejandro.
We are going to be buying. At least I am going to be there, like one of the first.
Thank you.
So I am really
Awesome.
excited about you.
You're wonderful.
So everyone, this show can also be heard on Spanglish World. Please check out spanglishworld.ca for all the news and programming. Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it. Thank you, Sandy. See you next time.
You bet. Thank you so much.